What is up, everybody? My name is Gus Bus, and welcome to my YouTube channel.
Gus Bus.
We are back on CS2 today, and we're going to be going over knife and glove combo. So it's only fitting for me to change my showcase weapon to my knife. So where do I find it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I have a black laminate huntsman knife. I have a black and white inventory. Only makes sense. It's the blackest knife in the game. But I wanted to go over some different knife and glove combos. There's definitely a misconception that you need to have a lot of money in order to have a cool knife and glove combo. And I want to show you guys that you can have a cool knife and glove combo no matter what your budget is. So the goal of today's video is to pretty much show you guys some different knife and glove combos, some ones that are pretty obvious and some that you've never seen before, or hopefully you've never seen them before, because I spent a lot of time doing research. So let's hop right into it with the cheapest options. So obviously if you're on a budget, you could get some racing green driver gloves and a Navaja knife, but let's be honest, no one wants a Navaja knife. So I thought this combination is a much cleaner option around the $125 range. You're going to be able to get the Broken Fang gloves unhinged with some Shadow Daggers black laminate. I just think this is really clean for the price, you know, all black. It looks really good, and for $123 you really can't beat it. And I prefer black over like the green safari mesh. So for only $10 more, you can get yourself some field-tested hands wrap constrictors, and you can pair it with a falchion knife rust coat. And I think this looks really good. You know, I know a lot of people don't like the falchion knife. I am a falchion knife enjoyer. I love the animations. I think it looks sick. And I think these hand wraps actually go with a lot of other skins in the game, so I think you could build a pretty cool loadout with it. So if you're a fan of brown, I think this is an awesome combo, and it won't break the bank. So for only around $30 more, coming in at $169, you can get some hand wrapped spruce DD Pat field tested, as well as an Ursus knife safari mesh in minimal wear. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not the biggest fan of like army green loadouts, but I do think this is a sweet combo. I think the hand wraps and the safari mesh go really well. I'm a huge fan of the Ursus knife. I love how the handle and the blade are the same color. So if you're building out a sort of army green inventory, I think this is a really good option. And I love this Ursus knife rare animation as well. So for only $13 more, you can get some color to come into play here. You can actually get yourself some field tested Bloodhound gloves charred, as well as a field tested gut knife crimson web. And of course I know people aren't the biggest fans of the gut knife. It's definitely one of the more budget knives, but I think it looks awesome. I love the pull out animation. And for only $182, and if you're building out a red and black inventory, I think this is a perfect option, and I think it looks awesome. But if you have around $30 more, coming in at $210, you can get yourself what I think is a much more high tier looking combo. At that $210 mark, you can get yourself some field tested driver gloves resin the red, and then a minimal wear gut knife slaughter. I think this is a really cool looking combo. I think the red makes it look a lot more high tier, especially with the shine on the slaughter knife. And you can combo it with the crimson web knife again, but I do think that the gut knife slaughter looks a lot better when you pair it with the res and the red gloves. I just think this is a really cool option. I think the reds match pretty well, and I think with the driver glove, having that wood handle on the gut knife just makes it even better. So if you have around $25 more, then you can get what I think is one of my favorite budget combos in the entire game. For $234, you can get yourself some Moto Glove Smokeouts in field tested, as well as a survival knife stained in field tested. And I think this combo is absolutely amazing. I love the black and white combos. If you've watched my videos in the past, you know that I have a black and white combo myself. I think that the Moto Glove Smokeouts in CS2 look a lot better. The wear shows a lot less. And I really do like this survival knife stained. I think it matches really well with the Moto Glove Smokeouts. Some of my favorite gloves in the game, and they're really reasonably priced. You can definitely pair these gloves with a lot of other knives in this budget, but I do really like this combo. I think it looks amazing. So for around $120 more, yeah, we're gonna jump up in price pretty significantly. You can get yourself some Specialist Gloves Field Agent and Field Tested, as well as a Stiletto Knife Night Stripe in Field Tested as well. This is gonna cost you around $353. It's a combo I never see, just because, you know, a lot of people rock blue inventories and pair these gloves with some blue knives, but I think the night stripe actually looks really, really good. And I love the stiletto knife here. I mean, look at the patches on the inside of the gloves and look how amazing it goes with the night stripe stiletto there. So if you want to be a little different and rock a blue inventory, I think this is a really good option. So this is for my all black enjoyers. You know, I have a black and white inventory. I said it already. This is the blackest combo you can actually get in the game. I know people say the Huntsman knife black laminate's the blackest knife you can get, but the Shadow Daggers vanilla and the Nox is the blackest combo you can really get. So this is going to cost you around $368. The Nox got a huge buff recently, and they're a lot darker, a lot blacker, and even the more field tested pairs still look amazing. So they show a lot less wear. So if you have an all black inventory, I think this is a really good option. I mean, it just depends on if you're a butt plug enjoyer. So I know you guys probably want to see some more color combos, but I had to show this one. It's probably my favorite combo in the game, and if not my favorite, it's definitely in the top 3. For $391, you can get yourself a decent float pair of field-tested driver gloves black tie and pair it with a stiletto knife urban mask and minimal wear. And I've done a lot of research on this, and this is actually the whitest knife you can get in the game. There are definitely different patterns that are more white, but I just love how clean this combo looks. It looks so amazing. Definitely one of my favorite combos in the game, and it's great bang for your buck. Looks super high tier. But I get it if you want to have some more color in your inventory. So for only $7 more, coming in at $398, you can get yourself some Moto Gloves Polygon and field tested, as well as a Nomad knife blue steel and field tested. So can we talk about blue steel knives for a second? Have they always looked this sick, or did they get a crazy buff in CS2? I mean, these knives look absolutely amazing in CS2. They shine so much more. They're so much bluer. And I love it on the Nomad knife. I think the Nomad knife's one of the more underrated knives in the game. Obviously, Simple using that, I think it was Simple used a blue gem a couple years ago at a major, and the price went up like crazy on them. But I think this is a really awesome combo. I think that the knuckles on the gloves match the color of the blue steel blade super well. I think it looks super high tier and a lot of bang for your buck. I got a weird one for you here. So these are the Moto Gloves Turtles and a Huntsman knife Tiger Tooth, coming in at around $410. Yes, I could have matched it with a Gamma Doppler knife, but I don't think that the greens matched up with the turtle gloves that well. And I think that the orange on the Tiger Tooth, getting shot at. I think that the orange on the Tiger Tooth knife matches absolutely perfectly with the orange hits on the gloves. I mean, look at those two tabs, as well as the orange on the fingers of the gloves. I think this is a really cool, unique combo and something that you're not going to see people using. So for only $6 more, coming in at $416, you can get yourself some Specialist Gloves Mogul and field tested, as well as a Bayonet blue steel and field tested. Another blue combo that I think looks absolutely sick. The reason why I chose the blue steel knife and bayonet to pair with these gloves is because of the way that the handle, not this handle, but the end of the blade with that little ring thing on it to put your finger, matches absolutely perfectly with the patches on the inside of the glove. I mean, it fits almost perfectly. So I think this is a pretty cool option, something that you don't see every day, but it is a blue combo, so you're going to see it every now and again. Pretty cool option. So back with something a little bit more low-key, we have the Lunar Weave driver gloves in a good float field tested, as well as a Bayonet night and minimal wear. This will cost you around $450. Definitely a little bit less flashy, but look how well the handle on the bayonet matches the inside of the gloves. I think this is an absolutely incredible option. I think it looks super high tier, even though it's a lot less flashy than your reds or your greens. You still have some color in there, and I think it looks awesome. Great bang for your buck. But if you are someone who likes to be a little bit more flashy with your knife and glove combo, for only $3 more, coming in at $453, you can get yourself some driver gloves Imperial Played and field tested, as well as a flip knife freehand in minimal wear. I'm a sucker for the flip knife. I think it's a really cool knife. I love the pull-out animation. I don't know, I just think it looks really good, and this freehand looks awesome pairing it with the Imperial Play gloves. If you're building out a purple inventory, I do have a video on the channel. I do see a lot of people pairing this with Doppler knives, but if you're trying to save a little bit of money, I think the freehand looks almost as good or better. But if you wanted to pair it with a Doppler knife, I think the falchion is a really good budget option, coming in at $617 for the combo. I think this looks super high tier. I love the way that the falchion knife, the pattern goes from the blade to the handle. I like the animations. I'm just a sucker for the knife. The Doppler knives cost an arm and a leg, so I think if you wanted to pair it with a Doppler knife, the falchion is a really good option. I think it looks super high tier. So I know I've said it before, but this is actually my favorite combo in the entire game. For $695, you can get yourself some driver gloves, king snake, and field tested with a decent float, and a talon knife, Damascus steel, and minimal wear. I just absolutely love how clean this combo is. I mean, look how perfectly the white cream of the gloves matches the ivory on the handle of the talon knife. I mean, definitely when you get a lower float pair, they are more white, but there is always going to be a little bit of yellowing on these gloves, and I think that actually goes really well when you match it with the ivory handle of the talon knife. I also think the Damascus steel goes really well with the scales on the glove. This is my dream knife and glove combo, so hopefully one day I'll have it, but for the meantime, I'll stick with my black laminate huntsman knife. We're back with another blue combo. For $725, you can get yourself some hand-wrapped cobalt skulls in field tested, as well as an Ursus knife Doppler Phase 4 in factory new. And I know a lot of people are rocking an all blue inventory just because there are so many skins that are blue in the game. Check out my video if you're looking to build an all blue inventory, but I think the cobalt skulls for that more royal blue are one of the best options, and then pair that with any of the Phase 4 Doppler knives and you have a really banging blue knife and glove combo. So coming in at $792, I actually think this is a pretty obvious option, but it is the Sports Glove Omegas in field tested, and then a bayonet lore also in field tested. I don't know, I just think this, even though it is a little bit obvious, I still think this option is really sick, especially if you have a yellow or gold inventory. I just wish the handle on the bayonet was not green. I wish it was that gray metal color like it is at the end of the blade, but you know, the bayonet's a pretty reasonably priced knife, and I still love it. It's a huge blade, the pull-out animation's sick, so really good option here. So for around $50 more, coming in at $841, if you're building out like a cyan or a turquoise inventory, this is definitely going to be your best bet. You can get the hand wrap overprints in a decent float field tested, as well as a flip knife Gamma Doppler Phase 4. I mean, all the Dopplers got a huge buff, and they didn't have this cyan or turquoise pattern before, but the reason I chose the flip knife, I mean, look at how perfectly the handle matches the gloves. Great combo here. We're creeping up on the $1,000 mark, coming in at $916. You can get yourself some Moto Gloves Coolmint in a decent float field tested, and then you can pair it with a minimal wear M9 blue steel. Really, really love this combo. The gloves match almost perfectly with the blue steel blade. The M9 is one of, you know, the most favorite knives in the game, and you can get this one for a pretty decent price. And I've said it before, but the blue steel knives look so sick in this game. So one of my favorite blue combos, and not crazy expensive. But if you prefer red, then I have the combo for you. For $923, you can get yourself some slingshot sports gloves in field tested, and then a flip knife Autotronic in minimal wear. Not a whole lot to say about this one, just I'm a sucker for the flip knife, I said it earlier, and I think this is a really good combo. And the flip knife Autotronic's not crazy expensive like a lot of the other Autotronic knives are. It's going to save you a lot of money because the slingshots are pretty pricey, so really sick combo here. So we're really creeping up on that $1,000 mark. For $975, you can get yourself some Specialist Glove Foundations in a decent float. A glove that you don't really see a lot of people rocking, but it's one of my favorite gloves in the game. I really like orange, and you could pair this with any of the Tiger Tooth knives, but I thought pairing it with a Karambit Damascus Steel and minimal wear would be a really cool option here. You know, it's something that you don't see every day, but the black on the handle matches with the gloves really well. I don't know, I think it's just a super cool option. And you know, the writing on the gloves is that silver color, so I think it pairs really nicely with the Damascus Steel pattern. But if you want something a little different for the same price point, you can get some Sport Gloves Scarlet Shema in a decent float field tested, and pair it with a Karamzit Crimson Web also in field tested. The Karamzit Crimson Web is like one of the most OG knives I can think about when I think about Counter-Strike, and the Scarlet Chamois are gloves that you don't really see every day, but I think the black and red pattern matches almost perfectly with the black and red on the Karambit. I don't know, I think it looks super sick. Obviously the reds are a little bit different, but really good option here if you're building out a black and red inventory. So we're definitely in the more high tier section of the video. A pretty obvious combo here. This is the Sports Glove Amphibious and a Talon Knife Doppler Phase 4. This combo will cost you around $1,500. Tell me that this isn't a sapphire. I mean, that looks absolutely like a sapphire to me, but really good option. I chose the Talon Knife just because I know that the handle is a little bit more of an ivory color, but I like the way that it pairs with the white on the gloves. I don't know, I think it looks super sick. And yeah, just a really good blue option if you have a little bit more money. But if you have $2,750 to spare and you want those more Miami Vice vibes, then you've got to get yourself a pair of Sports Glove Vice and field tested and pair it with a Karambit Doppler Phase 2. I think this is a really sick option. Obviously the Doppler and Gamma Doppler knives got a huge buff in CS2. I think you could also pair this with a Gamma Doppler Phase 4 if you want to match that more cyan color on the gloves. But I absolutely love this combo, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the Vice gloves. While recording this video, I realized I didn't do any green combos, but that's just because I don't think the patterns match with the green gloves in the game very well. But if you have $3,626, then I actually have a pretty good combo for you. I know a lot of people don't want to spend that much money on knife and gloves in a video game, but if you have that extra $3,600 laying around and you want to build out a green knife and glove combo, I absolutely love the Sports Glove Hedge Mazes and pairing it with a Falchion Emerald. I've said it all video, but I love the Falchion knife and I love the way that the green is on the handle. So pretty good green option here if you have the money. Coming at the top spot for $6,055, we have the most expensive and rarest gloves in the game. Those are going to be the Sports Glove Pandora's boxes and field tested in a decent float. These cost around $4,000. And I want to pair that with a Huntsman knife Black Pearl and Factory New. Absolutely love the Black Pearl knives, and I think this is almost a perfect color combination. If you have that extra $6,000, really good option for you. But that's going to do it for today's video. I think there are a lot of good combos in there, starting at around $125 all the way up to $6,000. I have a lot more knife and glove combos. I'm going to continue making these videos, but I thought I would just put together a couple, throw together a quick video, show you a couple of my favorite knife and glove combos, and get your all's reaction. So comment down below with the knife and glove combo that you have now, and then your dream knife and glove combo, because I'm curious to see what your all's are. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you again in the next one.